It's nothing more satisfying than getting rid of that old computer equipment because, boy, it's a reminder of how big that stuff used to be.
Seriously.
Right?
I mean, we had an office when I was like in high school that the whole table was a computer, the screen, I mean, the printer, all of it took so much space.
Sometimes it's fun to watch old movies where you see some of that old equipment, the old TVs and everything.
Yeah, most people listening right now are like, what? I have a laptop.
I've got the whole thing right here, pal. That's how it works now. Let's check in with Evan and see how our Wednesday is shaping up. You're halfway through the week.
Halfway, looking pretty nice outside. I mean, it's been a gorgeous week thus far. We got more sunshine in the mix today. However, going to be blocked out in some cases by a few high clouds. So you see that kind of developing, streaming through from the south. But temperatures are going to be warming up very, very nicely. So take a look. I mean, we're expecting widespread 70s and in some cases low 80s in play this afternoon. Though, again, those clouds are going to be involved at times. And then we start a cooling trend as we head toward the end of the week into early next week. We'll lay that out in more detail in just a little bit. Let's switch gears, talk about what's going on as far as traffic goes. Right now, nothing to note, just one thing on the 5. This is on the 5 southbound at the Encinitas Boulevard exit. Right-hand shoulder blocked right now with an accident at that Encinitas Boulevard exit. So right now, no slower speeds on the roads there. Still a lot of green. Looks like volume is still relatively light out on the 5. Back to you.
Thank you, Evan. And now this morning, Chula Vista looking at declaring a public health emergency, all because of what you're seeing right now. This is a live look of the ongoing sanitation strike. So unionized workers, they've been on the picket line doing exactly this day and night for now nearly 1 month.
Making that circle and holding those signs here, trash. It's piling up nearly a month since this strike started. CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live with all the latest developments here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Eric. Well, this declaration would address many of the challenges the city is facing in terms of this 26-day sanitation strike between the sanitation workers and Republic Services. Now, one thing that both sides can agree on right now is that this needs to end soon. So last night they had a Chula Vista City Council meeting, and here's a look inside that meeting.
What disturbs me is that some of the workers that you're arguing over pennies on the dollar over, who struggle every day to fulfill a critical service in the middle of a pandemic in working class communities, are suffering.
Now, Steve Padilla, that was the Chula Vista City Council member for District 3. Now, last week, sanitation workers from Republic Services voted no to ending the strike after trying to negotiate their demands for better wages, safer working conditions, and new and improved trash trucks. Council members expressed their disappointment with Republic's inability to fully service its customers and the impact of failed negotiations. They're also describing the current conditions as absolutely unacceptable. Rats, vermin, crows attacking those trash bags, piling up. Council member Jill Galvez says declaring a public health emergency will clear the way for Chula Vista to legally hire outside contractors to pick up the trash and then bill Republic Services for that work. So, of course, we've been covering the sanitation strike over the past 26 days. We have a lot of information on what's going on over on CBS8.com, but of course we'll continue to update you. But yesterday's meeting with the city council members, they're hoping to declare that emergency. I'm Dana Marie McNichol.
And now this morning, Governor Gavin Newsom will be right here in San Diego. He's set to highlight efforts made by the state to help fight the ongoing homelessness crisis. His office says the investments also focus on quickly rehousing unsheltered individuals with behavioral health issues.
Well, a judge has ruled San Diego Unified cannot implement a vaccine mandate during their appeal. A court had already ruled the mandate couldn't be implemented for regular school hours. But just a few days ago, the district said they would require vaccines for student athletes and kids in other extracurriculars. The judge clarified they can't do that either. The group Let Them Choose has been in a legal battle with the district since last year. Spokeswoman Sharon McKeeman is counting this as yet another win for their cause.
This is a success, based on parents advocating, sending a demand letter, and, just holding schools accountable to the law.
According to the UT, the judge said the district would have to ask an appeals court for a stay on his ruling to require vaccines. In the South Bay, the Sweetwater Union High School District says it will not be implementing a vaccine mandate right now. The district was planning to require vaccines for extracurricular activities, but that won't happen, at least until May. This decision comes as students returned to class yesterday following winter break. New this morning, the White House increasing the supply of COVID tests to schools nationwide. They will send 10 million tests to schools every month.
That includes 5 million rapid tests and 5 million PCR tests. The White House says these additional tests will help schools safely remain open. Meantime, top health officials are warning most people are going to get COVID.
The country is facing skyrocketing cases and record hospitalizations. Now the Biden administration is facing growing scrutiny over how it's handling the pandemic. Britt Conway has the latest.
This is not a virus to fool around with. This is like no other respiratory virus.
And this variant is like no other.
Omicron will ultimately find just about everybody.
Most people are going to get COVID.
We've seen a nationwide average of more than 754,000 new cases of COVID-19 a day over the past week. Nearly 146,000 people were hospitalized with the virus as of Tuesday. And more than 1,600 people on average have died from it each day in the past week. Many hospitals are juggling staffing issues. States are doing everything from postponing elective surgeries to calling in the National Guard and declaring public health emergencies. And now more children are being hospitalized with COVID-19 than ever before. But the CDC says only about 1 in 6 kids aged 5 to 11 is fully vaccinated. As schools continue to assess and debate in-person learning, it's back to the classroom in several of the nation's largest school districts. Others have had to go remote amid massive teacher absences. All of this means all eyes are on the White House to turn the tide. Listen to what happened during a hearing on the federal response to Omicron.
Do you think anybody has had more influence over our response to this?
You personally attacked me.
I assume that that's not the case.
What are you talking about? You are totally incorrect. What a moron.
What happens next will mark a pivotal moment for the Biden administration. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And San Diego continues to see an unprecedented rate of new cases and hospitalizations. Take a look at our latest numbers. County health officials reporting more than 10,000 new cases. Hospitalizations rose by 73 to more than 1,000, and 166 patients are in the ICU. That is 2 fewer than Monday, but 20 new deaths, bringing our total now to 4,520 people. San Diego health officials warn we have not reached the peak in this surge yet. County Public Health Officer Dr. Wilma Wooten says cases are rising at a pace we've never seen before, and she warns hospitalizations are still expected to go up, and the surge could actually be next week here. We'll have a closer look at this coming up at 6:30. And this morning, an independent panel of doctors from the San Diego region will review COVID misinformation that's been shared during public comment. Health and Human Services staff collected statements made in reaction to yesterday's COVID presentation to the Board of Supervisors. The discussion by medical experts will be uploaded and archived on the county's website. Launching a business from your kitchen could officially become legal here.
This morning, county supervisors will look at creating new rules for this plan. Focuses on so-called micro-enterprise home kitchen operations. Local leaders say this could help people make some extra money during the pandemic. It would also allow aspiring restaurant owners to learn what it takes to run a food operation. To fine-tune those skills a little bit. I'm still fine-tuning all my cooking skills. How about you?
Well, always. I also love that it says legalize home cooking, and I get, like, obviously, like, the idea is, like, legalize selling the food that you cook at home, but it's also funny to look at and be like, just, you know, let us cook at home.
Let us cook.
Please, let us cook at home. A little bit different, but no, I mean, we were talking about how we could all have a pretty viable side hustle, so we're gonna have to see how that works out. Here's what we got as far as the view outside goes. Still 40 minutes shy of that sunrise. Dark outside as we speak, high clouds filtering through. Temperatures going to fall a few degrees along the coastline, and in some cases along your inland valleys, increase by a few degrees, and you can thank those Santa Ana winds filtering through dry, warm air from the east. Gusts right now around many of your mountain ranges are in the 30 and 40 mile per hour range, so it is breezy, of course, but once those winds pass over the mountains, they're not too breezy. We've got 9 mile per hour gusts in Escondido, 11 in Chula Vista. They will start to diminish as the day goes on. So we see the view outside letting in a little bit of light. I'd say give us another 20 minutes or so, and we'll start to see plenty more of it streaming through. Gusty winds diminishing throughout the morning, warmer inland temperatures, cooler by the coastline, and a slight chance for some showers as we head into Monday. That's where we see more significant changes in the forecast. Toward the weekend and early next week, we bring in in cooler temperatures, we bring in cloudier skies in that deeper marine layer, and then of course that slight chance for some showers as we head into Monday. Next 12 hours take us to the upper 70s. Partial cloud cover that'll increase by the time we get to your evening hours. Notice that this early morning time frame, still chilly in some spots. We're at 49 degrees in downtown San Diego. That means you may want to still keep that jacket with you just in case you're walking outside ahead of that sunrise or even after that sunset and we start to see those cooler temperatures in play. Nothing going on as far as traffic goes. Just one thing that we have on the 5. This is on the 5 southbound at the Encinitas Boulevard exit. We have the right-hand shoulder blocked. Doesn't look like it's causing any major backups right now.